All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a lesson on something that we should all remember, man, and that we should all, that should make the afflictions that we go through a lot easier to bear, man, alright? And it's it's the thought and the truth that several people in our lives that we come across have been set up and have been chosen to annoy and antagonize us just so that they can be destroyed. All right, and I'm gonna say it again. Several people in our lives have been brought around us to antagonize and to do wickedness towards us, to be evil towards us, just so that they can get destroyed, man. All right, this is Matthew chapter 18 and verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. All right, loads of people have been chosen to offend Yahushai. They was chosen to offend Yahushai, right? Revelation 1 and 7 says, and they also which pierced him are going to mourn when they see Yahushai come back, right? They're going to be scared. But also people is chosen to be offenses unto the elect of the nation of Israel. And the whole world has been an offense unto the Israelites in general, because once the Israelites of the 2/3 come back and receive the kingdom as well, after death by pain, like the scriptures say, they're also going to be exalted above the rest of the world, man. Right? And when that happens, all these people are going to know that they was just made to do offenses unto us, and are going to be judged for the offenses that they caused unto us, man. All right? So let's think of some of the people that are the people that cause offenses, right? Jealous people at your workplace, right? You might be, I've been the person that was selected to get a promotion or whatever at a job, for example. This is just an example. This isn't me saying no personal things in my life. I'm just giving an example. You might have been selected to get a promotion at work, and then somebody else connives and backstabs to not only make you not get the promotion, but they're now out to try and get you fired from the job, right? Or you might have a wicked neighbor that's hating on you, like I mean I don't mean hating in what the world say. I mean they're covetous. They're covetous against what you have, right? So you might have a lawnmower, and now they want to buy the exact same lawnmower. Or you might have a garden shears to trim your hedges, and now they want to copy and have a garden shears to trim their hedges, right? Or you might buy some food from Just Eat, and now they buy food from Just Eat. These are examples of how these people are in the world against us, man, right? Or there might be people around your neighborhood that they're offended, that you don't want to be their friend, right? So now when you walk through the area, they're trying their best to bother you. They might try and shoulder barge you out the way to try and get you to act carnal, to try and have a fight with you, man, right? These are some examples that men of the truth will go through, man, and women too. There might be women that live around a particular woman. There might be a woman that's in the faith that lives around a particular neighborhood, and she tries to dress herself and carry herself in a way that's feminine and that's not like some hood rat hoe. And the other women around the area that are on that type of time, they're going to be hateful towards her, and they're going to be trying to talk about her, spreading rumors about her, gossiping and lying, bearing false witness, when they know that all the things that they're saying and spreading rumors is not true. But they're offended that that woman might be more beautiful than them, or might be carrying herself in a way that's meek, and they know that that way that woman carrying herself in that way is bringing out the fact more and more that that woman is a slut, right? So she's hateful towards that woman, man. Let me read this again. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 7. Woe unto the world because of offences, for it must needs be that offences come. But woe to that man by whom the offence cometh. There might be a brother that lives in like a flat type environment, man, and his wicked neighbours are spreading rumours about him, right? Telling people that he's one thing, right, and trying to cause them to hate this person because they've saw that that person makes videos or whatever. That person's out on the highways and hedges, and they're trying to spread rumors and lies about that person and saying that he's things, saying that he does this and he does that, when they know they ain't got no proof on it, man. Right? But these things have to happen. These offenses that these people do have to happen, just so that these people can be destroyed, man. There might be people that brothers and sisters meet, that they only meet that person one time in their whole life, and that person causes a major offense to that person and ruins that brother or sister's whole day, right? But that was done so that that person can be destroyed. So that when that person receives the judgment that they received, they can know that once upon a time they stumbled upon one of the people that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, had said he's worthy to receive mercy. And they've did all of these wickedness and evils against them just so that they can be destroyed, man. Right? That's what a lot of these people don't realize. That their life, right? That they've stumbled upon people that Yahweh loves in their lifetime, and they're going to receive judgment for that, man. Right? When we get changed and when we get taken away from this world, if we're those people, if we're looking enough to be those people, all these people that offended us are going to know that they offended us, man. They might have got us fired from our job, right? They might have made us not get hired at a job. They might have got us sacked. They might have slept with a brother's wife. You know, they might have committed adultery on a brother's wife. They might have stole from a particular man or woman. They might have, who knows what kind of things these people might have done, man, will do, man. Right? These people are wicked, man. They might have just had a road rage against a particular man and threw a can of coke and broke his windscreen or something like that. They might have did anything, man. They might have broke into a brother's car. You know? They might have robbed him at knife point. They might have robbed men at knife point. They might have robbed men at gunpoint. They might have tried to kidnap men. They might have did all these wickedness and evils, man, because these are some of the things that men of that believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahshai might have went through, man. They might have did all these things against them, but these things was done by these men just so that they can get judged, man. And sometimes you get to see these things live. Like there was one particular person that was running his mouth against the apostles, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna roll upon you, keep my name out your mouth and all that," right? Talking all this smack, acting like he was just the ultimate warrior in the world, right? And then he was caught on the internet on World Star getting hemmed up by the police, or with his arms all crushed up into the wall, man, getting pushed up in the wall by the police by the police at gunpoint, man, right? So he was all that tough for men that read in the Bible, but when it came to men that was on the same kind of stuff that he was on, he was a little kitten in that day, man. Right? He wasn't a roaring lion in that day. He was a little cat that ain't even got the strength to drink milk from its mom's tit and has to be fed the milk through a spoon, man, by a human. He was weak like that, man. Or the runt of the litter that just gets cast away and dies. He was a weak like that, man, in that day. And that's what a lot of these people are getting ready to receive, man. A lot of these people that have been antagonistic to men that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has deemed worthy to receive mercy, man, and that have been calling on Yahweh's name. A lot of these people have been made to do all of this stuff just so that they can be judged. And they're going to see men and women and children that have already elect, get beamed up in them chariots, and they're going to be looking stupid in that day. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labours. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Right? But these people was thinking because they had some kind of money that meant something. And when you really looked at what they thought was money, it was nothing. They're still having to live paycheck to paycheck, right? But they was laughing at other men and thinking that other men are poor and thinking that other men are broke. But if you really examined their life, it's not like that on the Forbes list. So let's be real about it, man. Right? You had all these wicked people, man. A particular person might have been drunk one day and followed and said something when a man of the Lord was walking past, right? Another person might have been a security guard in the store and tried to follow one of the apostles around the store, right? As if they're going to steal something, and been following them around with the walkie-talkie, like he's going to steal, right? Trying to make them feel insecure, just walking through the earth when they're buying groceries, man. These things could have happened, man. Right? These things could have happened. People lying and calling men grapists, right? Calling men these things when they ain't got no proof on the matter. People calling up people's jobs, trying to get them fired, lying and making crazy accusations against them, as if the damage ain't already done. Lying and spreading rumors like what a woman would do, man. People getting men fired from their jobs. Again, I gotta say that because that's another thing. If a person's would try and do that to you, They're really trying to kill you, man, because they're trying to stop you from being able to feed yourself, damn near, you know. But these things was done by these people, and it don't stop nothing anyway, because Yahweh will feed a man of the Lord, a man that Yahweh loves, regardless of whether that man's got a job or not. Because food, I just gotta say this, food is separate from money. Food has always existed, and paper money has not always existed. This stupid money that people are running around with now, where they tap their card, right? That's not always existed, but food has always existed. Chickens have always existed from the beginning. So what are these people? These things are creations that Yahweh made, separate from money. But all these faithless people, they don't know these things, man. Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. They was laughing at these particular men, mocking them, right? They was thinking that these men were broke, complete bums, when these men just didn't flash and didn't care about buying the trinkets of the world, man. They didn't care about that. They might have had just the same amount of money as the average person, because they meet the same demographics as the average people in the society, you know? Some above, some below. But the world looked at them as though they're bums, right? And actually called them that. Actually called them bums, right? And mocked the poor, which the scriptures tells you not to do, by the way. The scriptures say don't mock the poor. But these people did that. Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. But really it's going to be their lives that are going to be without honor. And these people was made to do offenses unto men of the Lord, right? And unto men, women, and children of the elect of the nation of Israel, just so that they could be judged for that wickedness that they did, man. It will be known to them that that's the reason why these things happened. And never mind any of us. There was offenses caused to Yahweh Shai long before there was offenses caused to us. And the scriptures say the servant is not greater than his master. So if they hated Yahweh Shai, then who are we to not expect them to hate us, right? But that still doesn't take away the point that these people are going to be judged for the wickedness that they've did, and that they was made to do these things just so that they could be judged. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe unto that man by whom the offense cometh. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 7. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 6. In fact, verse 5, how is he numbered among the children of God, and his lot among the saints? These people ain't going to be able to fathom how it can be that people that wasn't showing off all up in the world, that wasn't trying to show their Instagram stories and wasn't trying to be some social media mogul, they're not going to be able to understand how these people can be worthy in God's eyes, because they wasn't worthy in the world's eyes, right? But the scriptures is clear. It says, if you was of the world would love his own. So if you're loved in this world, that means you're wicked, right? All these people that are getting put on Front Street as if they're some kind of rebellious people to this society, and people are defending them. The reason why people are defending them is because these people are wicked, right? All these red pill cats that are getting put on Front Street as if they're some kind of real rebels. No, they're not, man. These people are on the same kind of wickedness as everyone else, and if they had the power to be able to do the same rituals as the elites to get in the same position, they would do it, man. They would do it, because they're not prepared to speak about everything that's going on in this wicked world, because they know that their money will be at risk. Which is the proof further that if they was to get up there, that they'd be down with that too. If they was to get told, come behind the curtain and you can join on with us, forget joining on with them people, they'd do it, man. They'd do it. And the proof of that is that they even get given a platform on the news to speak on the things that they want to speak on anyway. Because they wouldn't put nobody right before they make their whole hate campaign against us. They wouldn't feel brave to put nobody that believes in the Lord right now on TV like that, because they know that it would wake too many people up, man, and that too many people would want to hear the message further. They know that. That's why all the people that they try and pick to try and put out on Front Street to talk about this message, none of them people bring out Bible verses. They never bring out nothing from the Bible that you can't argue with. You can argue with a man's opinion all the time, but you can't argue with what's written in the Bible that's in there, but people are lying about it and said that something else was in there. Because then you gotta ask, why was they lying about it? Why did they lie? They said for hundreds of years that this is what it says in the Bible, but we come to find out that it says something different. We come to find out that the Bible speaks more about our lives than it does about these other people's lives. And we come to find that the Bible is speaking about the message that we're talking about, rather than the message that they're talking about with God loving everybody. You learn in the book of Genesis that God doesn't love everybody. He made a chosen people. You learn it early on that he doesn't love everybody. Right? Verse 7. In fact, verse 6. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. They're going to know that all the ways that they thought was the ways of truth was BS. Verse 8. What have pride profited us? Because a lot of these people are proud, right? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. All these people's stupid lives are going to be made look exactly like they are, man. Them thinking that they're living some kind of life because they go to work from Monday to Friday, and then they go to the pub on Saturday, and then they rest up because they're too hungover on Sunday, and then they go to work on Monday and talk about what they did on Friday after they finished work, and on Saturday when they had their complete full day off, and then talk about how crashed out they was on Sunday because of how much they drank on Saturday. And then they go to work on Monday and then do the same thing and then repeat that. And then maybe one of those or two of those weeks out of the year, they go to another country, right? And can't stay out there for as long as they want to because they got to be at work the next week on Monday. And then they talk about how good that thing was on Monday again at work. And then somebody else now says, oh, I'm well jealous. And then now they feel like they accomplished something because somebody's had some kind of envy towards their lifestyle. And then they have to compete with their neighbors continually because now their neighbor has got a new car. So now they have to get a new car to try and compete with their neighbor. Or they've seen that their neighbor buys their food from a supermarket that's a bit more expensive. So one person might buy their food from Lidl, but then their neighbor buys his food from Ocado. So now you've got to try and compete with your neighbor and buy your food from Ocado now. Because your neighbor did it, because you got to show off. That's what these people live their lives like, man. Oh, now because your neighbor got his driveway tarmacked with a new shiny sheen matte black. Now you have to try and do your driveway like that. And if you can't afford to do it, now you're going to wait at night time and smash up your neighbor's driveway with a sledgehammer because you're jealous that he was able to do that and you think that he was flexing on you, right? But then when your neighbor wakes up in the morning and says that, oh, what's happened to my driver? You're going to be out there at the front of the lawn with him, trying to make out like you don't know what happened. And that's the things that these people do in this world, man. There's a whole TV show, Neighbors from Hell, that shows these things, man. There was one particular one I watched where a neighbor helped his neighbor build a whole brick wall around the front of his house, right? To hide himself from the neighborhood because people was being racist towards the guy's mom or something like that, right? And he knew that the war was against regulations, and then he started a whole campaign against the neighbor, against the war that the neighbor made, when he's the one that helped the neighbor make it. That's how wicked these people are in this world, man. People are made to do things in this world to be offenses unto us, man. And these people are never going to agree with anything that we say. If they're not of the elect, they're not going to agree. It's not possible that they can agree, man, because they hate the Lord. They hate Yahweh Shai first, and then they hate anybody that speaks about Yahweh Shai. And not only do they hate Yahweh Shai, but they hate Yahweh, and they hate Yahweh's laws. They don't want Yahweh to reign over them. Psalm chapter 2. Why did the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? They set themselves against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us cast their bands away from us, man. That's what these people are trying to do. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 9. All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. Let me jump down to verse 13. Even so we, like manna, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. That's what these people are going to know. They're going to know they was consumed in their wicked ways, man. Right? They're going to know that. Right? When this whole society got taken down and was made silent 2 years ago, none of these people was saying. All these people was trying to get down with righteousness then, and all of these people, even down to the sports stars, was showing that their career doesn't really mean nothing, man. And that's what it's gonna be like when it goes down for real. That was just a test, man. That was a little taste. The fighting for tissue, the fighting for hand sanitizer, the storing up of flour and wheat and bread, the bulk buying. That was a test, man. That was a little taste of what's to come. But when it goes down for real, a rich man ain't going to be boasting in his riches. A wise man ain't going to be glorying in his wisdom. And a mighty man ain't going to be glorying in his might. But those that are going to glory in this, that they understand and know the Lord, that he deals with righteousness, judgment, and kindness in the earth. For those are the people that Yahweh delights in, as saith the Lord. And that's spoken of in the different term of phrase in Jeremiah 9, verse 23 to verse 24. And when you read verse 25 to verse 26 in that same chapter, he speaks about how that Yahweh is going to cause for judgments to come upon the earth real heavy, man. For all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart, and all the other nations are uncircumcised. He's going to cause for a big judgment to come upon this earth, man. Verse 14. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind. So if imagine you got some dust on the floor, right? And a strong wind comes by, that dust is gone. And that's what's going to happen to their hope. When Yahweh sends that destroying wind to destroy Babylon the Great, because that's the place that brings all these people's pride, man. Right? That's the place that makes all these people be proud. That's the place that has pushed pride throughout the earth the most. Babylon the Great, which is America. And when that place gets destroyed, that's going to be a symbol of all the pride of the world being destroyed along with it, man. That's the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. That's the beauty of Esau's excellency, man. That's the place that Esau says, you want to know how great I am? Look at America. That's the place. That's the place that's look is more stout than their fellows. And that's also the place that the Israelites have suffered their worst captivity ever. And that's also the place that sins have reached unto heaven. And that's also the place that Yahweh is going to destroy off the face of the earth. And that's also the place that the Israelites of the elect, right, are going to glory when it gets destroyed, man. Verse 14, for the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest and passeth away, as remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward is also with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. So that's what we're getting ready to receive if we're of the elect, man. And all these other people are getting ready to get jacked up, man. And they're getting ready to pay for the offenses that they cause against us. And I'm going to end the lesson there. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.